button. Now, I want to tell you a little bit about what we did last week. But Sammy is new with us, and I wanted everybody to understand it. 2 weeks ago, I introduced Calcudokus, which is a very difficult puzzle that is like Sudoku, but with math operations of addition, subtraction, multiplication. And if you want to go on my YouTube site, you can see the videos of what we did 2 weeks ago. Last week, we actually created our own puzzles. And I was amazed at how wonderfully you guys did creating your own puzzles. Now, there is a puzzle that is actually the most popular puzzle in Japan, second only to Sudoku. And it is called Kakuro. Now, doesn't Kakuro sound Japanese?
Yeah.
Well, guess what? It's not Japanese. It was invented by a Canadian mathematician. I think his name was Funk or something like that. He was kind of a funny sounding name. He worked for a computer company called Dell, who made a magazine, and he said, we're going to create a, by the way, Jack, you're going to have to keep yourself muted because Roman is not going to know how to not make noise during the session, okay? So you got to keep yourself muted. When you speak, we'll unmute you. Now, what happened was he decided he wanted a cross between a crossword puzzle. You guys, have you ever seen a crossword puzzle? Yeah, and they're really cool. And Sudoku. This puzzle is incredible, and I can't wait to share it with you. I'm going to share it with you right now. So the first thing I want to do is I want you guys, hold on a second. I want you guys to go to page 1, and I want you to see that, and if somebody has a question, you can ask that question. Let's see who's making noise here. I'm trying to figure out who that is. If that's you, just, okay, thank you very much. Now, what I want you guys to do is write down the center of the puzzle and the solution. I want you to write the numbers 1 to 9. Because even though this is really only a 6 by 6, you're allowed to use the numbers the digits 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I also want to point out that Mr. Kramer made a mistake. Do you see how I labeled the columns 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? But I labeled the rows incorrectly. I labeled them A, B, C, and then I forgot about D. So let's just move that up. And so we're going to, after C comes D, and then F. So let's say that I am talking about, this square right here. Who can give me the coordinates of that square? Everybody needs to unmute themselves right now. Right now. 1, 2, 3.
Mr. Kramer, I can't hear you.
Me neither.
So Zoom, so wait, so no, I can hear you, but just barely, because when people talk at the same time and there's suppressed noise coming from one place, then it'll muffle your sound when you're talking.
Yeah, that's okay. Why don't we have everybody then mute themselves? And when I call on you, so everybody has to mute.
feel muffled.
Mr. Kramer.
Hold on.
Miss-
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, that was you, honey. I don't know what's going on in the background, but there was some background noise. And so I think,
And you
keep what, guys? Okay, are you guys ready? Okay, now, who can name this square right here? Go, say it on 3. 1, 2, 3, go.
B5.
5.
Five.
Name this square right there, go.
D3.
D3.
Good. Is there a square that we can use on C5?
C. No.
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 Only instructions. These are called the clues. These are called the clues. So for instance, when you look at, and please, Bayram, raise your hand. Don't just speak when you want to. I want you to raise your hand. So when you guys, I want you to all look at E1 and F1. E1 and F1 is a set of numbers that have to equal 17. Can anybody tell me what are the only two combinations of the numbers 1 through 9 that can go into the 17? And we're all going to answer it on 3. 1, 2, 3, go.
9
6
and
and
8.
8. 6, 4, and 7.
No, no, you've only got 2 boxes. So you
9 and
only
8.
have 2. So it's got to be 8 and 9 or 9 and 8. Now, can anybody tell me why we should know exactly what this is? Sarah?
We know that it can't be a 9 in the bottom box because there it's if you go sideways in the rows F2, you can tell because it's also a 9 in that spot too, but you can't do 9 and 0 because 0 is not one of the numbers, so you know it has to be an 8.
Guys, isn't that brilliant? You know it can't be an 8, 9 because this square F1 cannot be a 9, it must be an 8. So everybody right now put 9, 8 in boxes E1 and F1. Now, everybody say it on 3, F2. 1, 2, 3, go.
1.
1.
Everybody say E2 on 3. 1, 2, 3.
8. 8. 8, 7, 8.
Now, hold on. Now, hold on.
8 plus 9, 7.
There's a little rule that even though, for instance,
And
these numbers
1 plus
here
8 is
have to
9.
add up to 17, those numbers are allowed to contain a 1 and an 8 or an 8 and a 1. Those numbers are allowed to contain a 1 and an 8 or an 8 and a 1 because they're in a different set. Give me a, Sammy, do you have a question?
Wait.
Okay, good. Does anybody have a question about that? You're allowed to have an 8 and 1 in this column because they're separate sets of numbers. Sarah, question?
Well,
I know that there's separate sets of numbers, but why do they have to be separate sets?
Well, because you see how there's a D2 is in the middle of those two sets. So it breaks up a set. However, in this set of 17, you're not allowed to have any repeats. And Sammy, what was your question, buddy?
She said it.
Oh, fantastic, fantastic. Now, who thinks they know what
Mr.
goes
Kramer,
in
my
box
hand is raised.
E3? Who thinks they know E3? Will?
7.
Very nice. So the only way to make 24, guys, with 3 numbers is 7 plus 8 plus 9. Tell me why? Test Posen. Why can we not use 8, 8, and 8 to make 24?
Because they're in the same row.
That's right.
Right.
That's right. Now, Cameron, can you tell me about C3 and D3? Anything you can tell me there?
If you had
Yeah, it's gonna be 9, 8, or 8, 9.
Ooh. Do you guys see that 8, 9, and 9, 8 are the only ways to make 17, which obviously we need to add to 7 to get to 24? Beautiful, beautiful job, Cameron.
I
Love it.
really want
Who's got,
one of these.
got the next one they want to share? Penny, do you have one you want to share? Who's got one they want to share?
You have another one.
How about you, Gabby? How about you, Kelsey?
I can only solve it by myself.
Go for it, Mark.
Can I?
I was thinking the D3. No, D2.
Well, D2 is not a square, my friend. D2 is just,
D4 then.
Must be 2 8s.
you mean D4. And what do you
Yeah.
suppose in D4?
I think it's a 3, a 1, and a 4.
That's B.
A 3, a 1, and a 4 go in one box? You have to explain that.
Okay.
No, so the 3 goes on a bottom box.
Now let's think about this. Wait, so that would be 2.
And
That'd be 2. That'd be 2.
and then the 4 goes on top of that.
So you think that's a 3, a 4, and a what?
1.
And why does it have to be a 1, 4, and 3? Why can't it be a 1, 3, and 4, for instance?
Oh,
I mean, you have to be able to tell me definitively. Otherwise, we have to put multiple possibilities in there.
I know why.
it also be
Wait, is that a Bairam?
Yeah, I think I know why.
Go.
So because in the sorry, I should say the letter first. C2.
D2 is here, yes.
Oh wait, no. I was gonna say that it would be easier to add to 17.
Yeah, so guys, can I make a suggestion? You guys are working on difficult sums. Why not work on the easy sums? For instance, why you guys should be looking at 16. A1 and A2 can only be what? On 3. 1, 2, 3, go.
9 and 8.
9 and 7.
I mean 9 and 7.
7 or 7 and 8. 4 in B1 and B2 can only be
1 and 3 or 2. 1 and 3.
or
3 and 1.
3 and 1. Now, guys, tell me what is, do you know anything else here? Do you now know, Gabby?
Oh, B2, it has to be 3 because you already have a 1 down in F2.
But they're a different set. Remember I said that, Gabby? That
Yeah.
these numbers are in a different set. So you're allowed to have a 1 and an 8. But
I
that was
forgot.
really good. No, but that was a really good thing. Hayden, what about you?
I don't think for a 2 and A1 it can be a 7 and an 8 because that would equal 15.
Well, actually, you're right. So it would be 9 and 7 or 7 and
9.
7 and 9. So that's got to be a 9. Hayden, that was a really, really good catch. That was a really, really good catch. Now, who can tell me what number must go here and here and why? Kelsey.
It has to be 9 and 1 for it to be 17.
Because what number must go in C2?
17. 7.
Guys, do you understand that both 9 and 1 and 7 and 3, please do not annotate, Jack. It's very important that you don't do that. Okay? 9 plus 1 and 7 plus 3 both equal 10. So C2 has to be 7. Therefore, A2
That's
cannot be 7.
That's
And
not
there-
exactly how I. Oh,
Yes,
sorry.
say again.
That's not exactly how I saw it. How I saw it was the A1 and B1 needed to be 10 up and down. They needed to equal 10. So I said, oh, that has to be 7 and 3.
But, it
Oh
could,
wait.
but why not 9 and 1?
Oh,
But
right.
now we
Oh, I saw
know
7
that
and
it
3.
must be a what, everybody? Actually, Jack, what
Well,
must
no,
A1
wait.
because
Well, that's not really how I didn't
Bayram,
finish.
hold on. Bayram, hold on. Jack, what would A1 and B1 have to be?
A1 and B1.
A1 and B1. And remember, Roman, you may not speak when Jack is speaking. You have to raise your hand if you want to speak, buddy, okay? Go ahead.
Mr. Oh,
Wait, Bayram, you cannot interrupt when another person is speaking. Jack, go.
What again?
Okay, Will, you go for it.
I'm going with the 8 plus.
Well, wait a minute. You got to first fill in A1 and B1. Come on, guys. Go, Sarah.
A1 has to be a 7,
And B1.
has to be a 3.
Excellent. Now, Will, tell me where you are working.
The 8.
You can't say the 8. You've got to give me the coordinates like I did A1, B1. I know exactly where you are. If you say 8, there's B4, there's C4, and there's D4. You've got to tell me where you are.
C4.
C4 is right here. Yes.
I think there should either be 1, 2, or 3.
I don't think it could be a 3, but if this is an 8, then this definitely has to be a 2. If this is a 9, this has to be a
1.
1. That's right. And that's all I know about that one right now. Who's got the next one? Tess?
For at the 9
Can you give me the coordinates, please?
at the top with the 15.
Do you mean A5 and A6?
Yes.
Okay, go for it.
8 and
So it's got to be an 8 and a
7.
or a 7 and an 8, or what if it's a 9 and a
9 and a 6.
or a 6 and a 9, but who knows which one it must be? Who knows which one it must be? Sammy, do you know which one it has to be? Look at the 7 here, and that will tell you. That will tell you. I think everybody's going to tell me on 3. 1, 2, 3, go.
6 and 9. 6 goes on A5.
Right, that's 6 and 9 because A5 can't be a 9, 7, or an 8 because we need to make 7. So it's going to be a 6, 9. And I'm so excited about 6, 9 because now I know B5 is what?
1. 6, 1.
1,
1, and B6 is what?
3,
3.
And therefore B4 is what?
Two.
Two.
And then C4 is what?
One.
One.
1. And then C3 is what?
Five.
5.
Nine.
C3 is 9.
Nine.
And D3 is
8.
8. That's right. That's right. Now, who's got the next? Who's got the next one? Gabby, go. And then Jonah. So Jonah after Gabby.
Okay, so I figured out what
That's 3, and then what else do you need to make 8? 5. That's 5.
what D5 was.
Please.
D
D5. Go.
D5 is 3
And why does it have to be a 3?
because
Don't
Because,
you do D4 first? Gabby, tell me what D4 has to be.
D4 has to be 5.
Right. And if D4 is 5, then D5 must be a
3, but that's not how I figured it out. I figured out because I figured out E5 and 6 in F5 and 6.
All right. Well, what would E5 and 6 be? What are the two options before you figured out D5?
1 and 5 or 5 and 1. And then for
But what about 2 and 3 or 3 and 2? This is before you knew D5. Oh, I'm sorry, that's wrong. It's only 5 and 1. You're right. And keep going. But whoa, what about 4 and
2.
yeah, 4 and 2 or 2 and 4?
Yeah, but that also could work. But then I looked down at F5 and F6, and I figured out it was 2 and then 9.
Well, 2 and 9 or 9 and 2 or 3 and help me 8 or 8 and 3 or
But those
4 and
wouldn't work.
7 or 7 and 4. Do you guys see? And then what about 5 and 6
6 and
and
6
6
and
and
5.
5? So
Oh
there
my God.
are a
I
lot.
did not think of all of those, but then once I knew that that D5 was 3, it made it a lot easier because then the only way to make 6 was with a 1 and a 2, so it would have to be 2 or 1 in
Awesome.
E in those in
Yeah.
E5 and F5.
Awesome. And then Sarah, what did you do with these?
Mr. Kramer, you?
Well,
Oh,
if
I'm sorry. Wait a minute. Jonah first, then Sarah. I forgot. So sorry, Jonah.
Well,
And Roman, please do not do that. Jack, please don't touch your brother. You guys have to stay separate in order for this to work. Go, Jonah.
so I also noticed the thing Gabby did, but another thing was, just wanted to tell you this. It's not with the problem, but we can kind of see like an answer board.
Oh, yeah. Now, the answer board, I wanted you to have that, but you don't want to be looking at it while we're doing the problem. And Jonah, do you have an idea of what you want to do here?
Sure. Maybe the
Which is the easiest? Is it the 11? Is it the 6 or the 14?
14.
14's pretty good. Come on, what are the only options?
8 and 6
Or
and 8.
or
Or 7.
not 7.
Sorry.
Can't be 7. That would be 7, 7. Or William? Or
It
9
can't be-
and 5 or 5 and 9? Sorry about that. Sarah, what are you going to do now?
So we know that it can't be any of those except for the 5 because it's the row is 6. So we know it has to be the 5.
5
no
and what?
1.
So Donna, do you see that? It's got to be a 1,
5
5. And we say 1,
there.
5 because we read left to right. And if
And
that's
then-
1, 5, go Sarah.
And then we know 1 plus 3 is 4, so then you need 2 is the next.
And we have completed our first puzzle. Now, we are not, I repeat, we are not going to go with what I call the insane Kakuro. Page 10, everybody go there right now just to see it. I tried this puzzle myself, and let's suffice it to say, like I said last week, I used to have more hair. But I will tell you, this was very, very difficult. So do not try it under any circumstances, unless, of course, you first master this 10 by 10 and this 10 by 10 on page 7. But first, here's what I want to do. I want everybody to go to page 5. So I want you to go to page 5, and I want to point a few things out. You guys are going to choose your own, but do not start. Do not start. When you choose your own, you do not want to start with things that have 4 numbers in a column, because there's no, even though you could know what numbers add up to 10, there's no way you're going to know where they go. You want to start with the 2 tops. Those are the easiest. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in this one. In number 6, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's and 6. There are 6 tours in number 7. In number 7, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 2 tops. Sorry, there's 8. So I think number 7 may be the easier one. And then let's look at number 8. It has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, that was bad. The 5 was not right. 5 and 6. So 5, 6, and 8 have 6 2 sets, and the number 7 has 8 of them. So I want you guys to start right now, choose one, and then when you have a question, you ask me a question. Sarah, go.
Just quick question. How come in the 5 and 8, the E4 in problem 8, the triangle thingy is erased, and so is E4 in the other one? There. Yeah,
Oh,
there and in the other one.
Oh, you know what? That would be a 10, because you can see the 10 up here. And Sarah, that was a very good observation. Let me see if I can find it in this one here.
I don't think there is one.
Maybe there is. Oh, no, there isn't. There isn't. So I think we're okay there.
It's just in the problem 8. That's the one I found.
Oh, the one. Oh, yes. So that would be a what, Sarah?
11.
You got it. Now, guys, remember, you're allowed to use the digits 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9. Now, get going and ask me great questions. And if you find something really cool, please share it with me.
I don't have the pages printed yet.
Okay, so if you don't have the pages printed, is that Barham? I didn't, who said they didn't have the
Yeah,
page?
that was me. That was Bear.
So Barham, watch what I'm gonna do right now. I'm literally just, I mean, this is gonna be really fast. I'm doing number 6 right now. And I'm gonna literally go like this. I'm gonna go like this. Do you see how I'm creating it on the fly?
Yep.
You could do this in about 1 minute or less.
And copy down all the numbers. I
Absolutely.
doubt it, but I'll try.
Yeah. So Barham, does that helpful?
Mr. Kramer, can I go to the bathroom?
Yes, you don't have to ask. When you need to go, you just go and wash your hands. And Zach, are you working this? Jack, Roman, you are not allowed to bother Jack right now. You have to let him do his thing and you should do yours. That's really important. Go ahead, Jack, get working. And guys, there's big bonus points for people who ask really good questions. Like if you hit a wall, ask me a great question. Go, Sarah.
What if there's a lot of options? Like I tried one, there's like 1,000 options. There's so many
Do me a
options.
favor, and can you share with me the puzzle number and the coordinates of
I'm
that?
doing puzzle 7 and I'm doing C4 and 5.
C4 and 5. Oh, yes. You picked the number 10, which will literally have 4 different options times 2. So that will have 8. Did you find 8 there?
Yeah.
Yeah, see, I would much rather do 3 going at C5 and D5 because that's only going to have 2 options. So Sarah, you get big points for that question. Sunyi.
What is the number for this?
You have to say the puzzle number is and the coordinate is.
It's puzzle number 5.
And
It's right there.
yeah, it doesn't matter because it's 10, as you can see right here on my screen, but there's also a 10 on the top of that column. So you don't really need it on the bottom, but it is a 10. How about you, Cameron? What's going on? You working this? You need to pick up a pencil. Yeah, this is not a thought exercise. I tried to do them in my head and there was no way. And William, how you doing, buddy? Which one are you working on, William?
I am on the puzzle 3.
Oh, so you chose puzzle 3 on page 4. And where did you start?
I started around like the bottom With
Well,
the 4 and the 4.
So you started at E3 and E E4?
You started at D, like D1 and C1.
Like D1 and C1.
That is a good one. And what are the only two combinations that could be?
1 and 2.
Or,
2 and 1.
excellent. And also do the same thing, William, at B5 and C5, right? Do you see that, William?
Yeah.
Because that's the same exact problem. And by the way, if you look at E3 and E4, they cannot both be 4s. We know that the numbers cannot repeat. Okay, Hayden, go for it.
I'm doing puzzle number 7 and I don't know where to start.
Let's start at the very beginning. And I would start at
I'm going
4. I would start at B1, C1. I would start at C5, D5. I would, yeah. So why don't you start right there, Hayden? Tell me what to do.
This actually looks hard.
So B1, C1 would be what?
It would be 1 and 3
Or 3 and 1. And keep going. What about C5, D5?
it would be 2 and 1 or 1 and 2.
Eureka!
And 1 and 2. Now, very, very cool. Is there a, what's the next one you think you should do?
Mr. Kramer?
Oh, hold on, please don't interrupt. Is that Jonah?
Yeah.
Jonah, I'll be right with you. What about C4? Hayden, there are only 2 numbers that can go in C4. If C5 is a 2, C4 must be a
8,
and if it's a 1, then C4 must be
a 9.
excellent. Now try something new. I would try 16. I would try A3, B3. Oh, Jonah and then Sammy. So go Jonah and then Sammy.
Mr. Kramer?
Sir.
I think this one has something out.
First, you tell me the puzzle number, tell me the coordinates, and then ask your question.
Wait.
You want to come back with it?
This is actually very difficult. Yeah.
Okay, so Sammy, why don't you ask me your question? I come back to
I
Jonah,
need some help with this little puzzle.
and then I'm going to go to Sarah. So Sammy first.
Actually hard.
Yeah, which one, Sammy, are you working on?
4 is
3 and 1.
4, 1 and 3, and then look, you have
Sammy, I lost you, buddy.
I'm on puzzle 2.
Oh, hey, buddy. Oh, you're on puzzle 2?
Yeah.
Okay, and tell me what question you had on puzzle 2, buddy.
No, I said I have to go.
Oh, you have to go. Okay, man. I'll see you later. Watch the video later so you can see how the rest of it goes, okay?
Bye.
All right, bye, buddy. And Sarah, go.
Is it possible for them to have one possibility?
You mean at the beginning without
Like-
looking at anything else?
No. What I'm saying is so I'm doing puzzle 7 and I'm doing C1 and 2 and I was looking at the options and I think it's the only options would be because in C1 it could be 3 or 1, but
Yeah.
then the only option would be 8 because there's no 10, right?
Sarah, that is brilliant. It must be 3, 8, and therefore B1 must be 1. So it's 1, 3, and 3, 8. Sarah, but remember, Sarah, you had to look at a perpendicular set in order to figure that out. So that was 3, 8, and 1, 3. That was beautifully done. Masterfully done.
Thank you.
Next, Jonah, go.
Okay, I figured something out on puzzle number 7.
Puzzle 7, go.
On the on so for C, for C1 and C2.
C1 and C2, which we've already done.
Oh,
Did you get the same thing, buddy?
yes.
Excellent, 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 excellent. Do you have any other questions, my friend? And what about you, Cameron? What's going on with you? Which one are you working on?
I just finished solving number 8.
Wow, you did the whole, dude, you know what? I'm gonna push you now to start on page 7. All right, buddy? Oh, Gabby,
I don't know what to do now. Now I'm on number 7. I don't know what I should do next.
well,
I've done
tell me what you've already done.
I've done C4 and C5. And
What did you get for C4 and C5? Do you still have 8, 9, and 2, 1 as possibilities?
Yeah.
Okay,
And then for G5, I got 201.
good.
And then for E4, I got 705. And for E3, I got 301.
Wait a minute, hold on. So E3, oh, I see. So you have either a 7 and a 1, or a, say it again, 3 and 5.
Yeah.
I love it. Now,
Or 1 and 7, or 5 and 3.
whoa, wait, this cannot be a 5 and 3, or,
Oh.
well, it can be a, oh, it can't be a 7, 1. Can it?
No.
Right, so it's gotta be either a 1, 7 or a 3, 5. Really good. And Gabby, can you please go to A3, B3 at 16? Because there's only one pair of numbers. I haven't heard from Mark, and then I'm
Wait,
gonna
what
go,
were you saying? I didn't get that.
Gabby, go to A3, B3 for 16. And I think you'll really like that one. So we're gonna go with Mark, and then Sunyi, and then Jonah. Okay, Mark, go.
I finished with puzzle 1.
Oh, puzzle 1. Now go to page, the next page, and do puzzle 5, 6, or 8. Okay, and
I got 7.
7, we've had a lot of progress on that, so I want you to be able to do this without that progress. And now I'm going to choose Sunyi.
I'm done with puzzle 5.
Great. Now go, move to puzzle 6 or 8. And Kelsey, what do you got?
I'm doing puzzle 5.
And do you have a question?
Yeah. So there are a lot of 4s, and I'm trying to figure out which ones are 3s, which ones are 1s.
So did you put 3, 1, 1, 3 in each of those?
Yeah.
Okay, that's a great way to start. That's a great way to start. Are there any other 4s? Oh my God, there are. There are really more 4s than I've ever seen in one puzzle. That's a great strategy.
There's also another one, C4.
Oh my gosh, you're right. You're right. And I'm trying to figure out if there's anything that can help us here. Kelsey, I'm thinking that that B1, C1, 14 might be a good one. There may be 4 options, but I think you might be able to work with that. And Jonah, do you have a question, buddy?
I was gonna say something. So now I found something. Now that we know on puzzle 7 that that this C1 is 3 and C2 is 8, we know that C4 and 5 are 9 and 1 because there's already an 8 there.
Oh, no, no. Do you remember what we talked and Gabby
Oh,
talked about it
right.
too? They are different sets. So you're allowed to have a 3 and an 8 in C4 and C5. So I'm going to go with Sarah and then Hayden. Go for it.
But I've finished like trying out all the like the 2s. So what do I do once I'm done with the 2s? Because all my other ones are 4s.
When you say the 2s, are you in puzzle 7?
I'm in puzzle 7 and I'm doing all the like where you match up and there's 2 boxes in like the
You have 2 in every one?
no. I've tried the possibilities and like marked them. So I don't know what to do next.
Well, for instance, Sarah, watch how I do D3. You know that has to be a 1 or a 3, correct?
Yeah, I've done all of the like that. See how you like did like the markings in the two in at like in the 2 boxes. I've done all the 2s, so I don't know which ones I should do next because they're all 4, so they're all so big.
So you have 9 and 7 and 7 and 9, yes?
Yep,
And so this one has to be what? A 4 and 6
or 6.
or a 6 and 4?
Mhm.
Now, maybe you should look at that 25 because that might actually tell you something about what it has to be. So
Okay.
I think I would look at 25 now. I think I would look at 25. And Hayden?
I've finished puzzle 7.
Yeah, guys, when you finish a puzzle, go to another puzzle. Don't wait for me. Go right to another puzzle. Olivia, do you have any questions? Which one are you working on?
I didn't have a question.
Which puzzle are you working on?
Mr. Kramer, I've been trying to
Hold on a
create
second.
my own
Olivia
puzzle.
was going to tell me which puzzle she was working on. Olivia, which puzzle are you working on?
I'm working on puzzle number 5.
Okay, excellent. And do you have any questions on it?
No.
Okay, great, great. Barum?
I've been trying to make my own puzzles, and I did about like 5 attempts or 6 maybe, and every time I noticed it really hard is when I'm drawing the numbers because the squares are not always the exact same size, so it's kind of hard to draw the triangles.
Yeah. Well, I'm really proud of you for trying.
Awesome.
I would also say, Barum, do you own graph paper in your house?
No, I don't think I do. I
Okay.
have notebooks with graph paper that contain graph paper.
Go run and get that. And then
I already have it.
oh, great. Then use that. Use that. That will make it incredibly easy. Jack,
Oh, is graph paper the one with the squares? Oh, never mind. No, I don't have that.
and Barum, do you have a printer at your house?
Yeah.
Okay, so you've got to print the stuff next time. That'll be your goal
Okay.
for next week. Okay, Penny,
Okay.
how you doing, kiddo? Penny, which one are you working on?
I'm working on 7.
And how's it going?
Good.
And what's going on with 7?
I just figured out, I think. I just figured out 2 things.
What's that?
So for, since D5 can be a 2 or a 1,
Yes.
and D and you need to get to 20 for D5, and so and there's also and in D3 it could be a 1 or a 3, and so it has to be a 2 on the bottom.
Well, don't say
And a
bottom.
one.
Give me the coordinates, please.
It has to be a 2 for D5
And why does it have to be a 2?
because you need 20, and
And if,
there's also and then later, and then in D3 there's it could be a 1 or a 3, but you can't have it be 1 twice.
right. I just don't know
You
why
can't-
it can't be a 1 and a 3. You know, that D5 would be a 1 and D3 would be a 3. Is that a possibility is the question. So Penny, think about that. And I'm gonna go with Kelsey and then Hayden.
I'm still working on the 14 on the fifth puzzle. I've narrowed it down to either 5 or 6 and 6 and 5 or 8 and 9 and 9 and 8.
When you say the 14, do you mean B1, C1?
Yeah, that
Okay, and you've narrowed it down to what?
5 and 6 and 8 and 9.
You mean 8 and 9? No. It can't be 8 and 9. It would be 8 and 6.
Yeah.
Or 6 and 8. And 9 and what?
5.
9 and 5. Or
Actually, no. 5 wouldn't work. Because if you had a 5, it wouldn't work for the 10.
right, or 5 and 9. So that one's not going to work. What about a 5 and 9? Could that work?
Yes.
No, it can't, because 9 needs a 1 and box C1 has to be a 6 or an 8. So it can't be 5 or 9. So now you've narrowed it down to 8, 6, or 6 and 8. Really awesome. Now I have time for a few more questions. Who did I say I was going to call on next? Was it Hayden?
You said me. So I'm doing puzzle 5, and like I just started it. I don't know where to start.
Well, do you see where we started with all of the 4s? Oh, but you know what? Mr. Kramer made a mistake here on D5. That can't be a 3-1. So I would start with the 4s and then do like 14 as you and then the 13, which is E3, E4. And Mark?
But I think you on the puzzle 5 for B2 and C2, you could have put a 5 and 9.
Oh, for B2 and C2.
Mhm.
That is a possibility.
No, B1 and B2 actually.
Oh, I do not agree. You're gonna have to. No, because this can only be, oh, I see what you're saying. You're saying that this could be a what? A 5 and a 9.
9.
And if that's a 1, then this would be a 3, and that's a 1, and that's a 3.
And
Very
then
interesting.
B2 should be a 2.
Whoa. If that's a 2, then D2 is a what?
D2 is
Jack, you working this?
an 8.
You're working it. An 8. That's right. That's an 8. Guys, you have been amazing. I hope that you not do the one that I gave you. I called the insane Kakuro. Please do not do that one. But I want you to try to do
I
these.
do that.
Work with your parents.
Well, Mr.
So
Kramer, I
much
was gonna
fun.
say.
It'll keep you busy forever. And Barham, go Barham.
Well, if someone made it, that means that they had to test it to see if it was doable, and that means that they had to do the whole thing.
Wow, you are correct. And Jack, yours was beautiful.
I feel bad for that person.
And Kelsey, we have 1 more second for a comment. Go.
And I
Miss
figured
Kramer, I gotta
out
go.
the 14.
Oh, wait, honey, Kelsey speaking. Go ahead.
I figured out the 14.
Oh, that's great. And what's the answer to 14?
Well, the top one was 6 and the bottom one was 8 because it had to be for the 10, it was the 8 on the bottom, and there was either a 1 or a 2, and a 6 and a 1, or a 6 and a 2 wouldn't work.
Wow. Guys, you are amazing. I will see you next week. Congratulations on all your hard work. And I will see you very, very soon. Sarah, send me a text because I've got another group starting in 1 minute ago. Okay.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Thank you.